So there's an AI test case generator to help software testers and developers, if they want, to generate test cases for a web page. And it's from Testers.AI. So if you are on any web page, you just have it loaded in your browser. If you install this extension, you click a button and it will generate test cases. Now, the interesting part of it is the test cases that it does generate are semi-clever. They're not just like quick list of 10 or something like that. We'll get to that in a second. So it's super easy to run. You just click, first of all, to install, you just go to the Chrome Web Store. I'll put the link down below. Click Add to Chrome. It adds it. And then you can see here it adds a Generate Test Cases button, and then it generates test cases for you. So let's see it in action. So here's Google's AI mode, and this is fresh. I haven't seen this or tried this before. We'll see what it does. So I've gone ahead and I've installed the extension. Here it is up here in my Chrome toolbar, and I will click it. And I'll mention a few things here. So we can say things like, so we can customize it too. Not only will it generate test cases, but we can say anything we want in here to help the AI. So we can say focus on long workflows and let's see, and don't generate any excessive ability tests, whatever. And the good thing about AI, it doesn't do spell check. It can auto figure it out. And you can pick the number of test cases. You can go up to like 50 tests. And let's just click generate test cases. So it's going to be analyzing the page. Now what it's doing while it's analyzing the page is it thinks about not just what test cases there are or what buttons there are on the page. It thinks about business value. It thinks about how likely, like what the return on investment is for manually executing that test, or even how flaky it might be when automating it. So the idea is no matter what number of test cases you tell it to generate, it will generate the best 5 or 10 that it possibly could, given that constraint of the number of test cases. So you can see here, multi-turn conversational query with contextual refinement. All right, well, there's a test for that. AI mode, traditional search, and back with context preservation. That's a good one. Running a complex conversation from history and continuing. So these are like legit test cases. It's even dealing with AI. It's not just a simple widget, and it's understanding and thinking about the state of the application and the likelihood and risk. And also I mentioned it factors in the risk. So how likely are these things to break? And if they break, how much would the business or the user care about it if it didn't break? And it factors all that stuff in to generate the best set of test cases for that web page. You also notice here there's an export button. So you click that and it will download a JSON file with all these test cases in case you want to import it or export it somewhere, or even throw it to ChatGPT and say write Selenium tests for this or whatever, these set of test cases. And if we go down to the bottom here, it's worth noting in the settings, by default in the free mode, and actually this is all just free. If you go into, you can use the Testers.AI API model. By default, we don't look at anything, but if you're worried about it, you can pick your own model too. Just trying to make it easy here for normal human beings that don't have an AI, API key. But you can pick, these other providers and then enter your token. Also, enter your API key, and you can also go in here and if you're using our stuff, you can also just chat me. If you want to give feedback or whatever, click this button up here in the upper right corner for feedback. But you can also get a token that uses our API, but it's not shared. This by default it shares among everybody in the world. But if 1,000 people try to use it at once, it may have rate limit errors and stuff like that. If you want your own dedicated tokens and stuff, just fill that out and ask for a token from us. So I hope this is helpful to building great test scripts and test case lists and kind of with idea generation. And hopefully it's just, even if all it is a little faster than copy pasting information back and forth between ChatGPT and your browser. And I'm trying to make it as easy as possible, as physically possible. And so there's no excuses for testers not to use AI when generating test cases. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear what's useful, what's not, if you have suggestions. And thanks for your time. Hope this might be useful to the testing world.